Hey Dubbz, hey TT, how are you guys?
Morning.
Doing
Doing
good.
well.
Morning.
So this is like an official RAVA meeting. Should we tell people what this underground organization is?
Yes.
I think it's recovering from actuarial volunteer activities. That's my take anyway.
See, I always thought it was Recovering uh, Actuarial Volunteers Anonymous. Whatever it
So in
is.
that case, none of us have yet earned a chip.
Yeah, because the whole point is to scale back on our volunteer efforts because we volunteer so much and we get burnout from it. Um, but no, on that topic of burnout, right? I'm very curious, just being these veteran volunteers yourselves, with SOA being an organization that obviously needs volunteers, right? But balancing that with uh, volunteer burnout, which is real. How do you think SOA can go about to balance the two?
Well, I'll start and share. You, Elizabeth, and I, we've all volunteered, I should say, for various actuarial organizations. So we've all been exposed to this. I have two thoughts. One is that within these actuarial organizations, it can feel like at times that we're trying to accomplish similar goals. And that might make sense, but I feel like we all have our own value proposition. So the Society of Actuaries might have one, CCA or the Academy might have another. And I feel like it would be very helpful for the volunteers in particular if we focused on where we provided the most value and emphasize doing products or content within that instead of trying to reach too far and too wide, which can create a lot of competition at times and maybe even overlap and can extend the volunteers too much. So that's one thought. And then the other one is, I think there'd be a lot of benefit from, I mean, we have very large organizations. We have a board up on top. We have staff levels in the middle, and then we have committees or councils or whatever we want to call it, where a lot of the volunteers actually reside. And it's really important that we're all on the same page. We're rowing in the same direction. We know from the board level, they know what's, and the staff level as well, they know what the volunteers are trying to accomplish and what they're trying to work towards so that they can support those efforts, as opposed to being rowing in different directions and kind of getting the way of one another, because that can really add to the burden of the volunteering and create a lot more challenge and time wasted. So those are my two thoughts.
And Dubbz?
And I definitely agree with those, but I think building on Todd's metaphor about making sure that everyone's rowing in the same direction and being efficient and picking kind of the topics that are the right ones to work on, I think it's also important to recognize that all of us actuarial volunteers are not just identical cogs that can be interchanged, and that if in thinking about getting volunteers, think about what areas people are best at and enjoy doing, and put people more into those roles that they like. So like me, for example, I like pulling together papers where multiple authors have done a section and try to weave them together and get one voice. That's one that I enjoy, but a lot of people don't. And so kind of reflecting that and making sure that we're using our volunteers as effectively as possible as well will help manage some of the actuarial burnout.
Yeah. And that's like actual matchmaking almost.
Yeah.
Matching skill sets with the best where they're good at and what to do. So, it's funny, Dubbz, you mentioned that none of us have earned a RAVA chip yet. And it's almost like we're donning anti-RAVA chips, right? We get these apparel because we volunteer so much. Todd with his chairing of a section. And I think you actually have a physical anti-RAVA chip, don't you, Dubbz?
I do. Speaking of the SOA,
Yeah, for volunteering so much. All right. Well, thanks for your thoughts, and thank you for volunteering to be on today. Talk to you guys soon.
Good luck.
Thank you.